It is always an honor to stand here. I've had the privilege of standing here, I believe, every year on September 10th. And I get excited. I use that word too, Marissa. Every time Marissa says, "Will you do September 10th?" And I just can't wait to come. As I sat with you tonight, the inspiration from our speakers, our dancers, our musicians has been incredible, incredible. I sat at the dinner table with Scott and knew that he was going to speak, and he said, "I mentioned to Marissa that I'm going to say something about candles and lights, and am I going to steal Evelyn's thunder?" And the truth is, you didn't steal my thunder, you created even greater thunder with that. Because how much more appropriate could it be that after you spoke, Scott, we have a candle lighting ceremony. And it would be awesome if we could do exactly what you said and extinguish all those lights, but you made it beautifully illustrative that we can see it in our minds and we will see it before our very eyes. I light this candle of hope. And everyone tonight spoke about hope. This morning on my walk, I was thinking about HOPE. And when I thought about tonight and I thought about hope, I thought, we need to hear. We need to hear each other's stories. When I thought about H, I thought about how we need to hold one another, to hold space for one another. When I thought about H, I thought about honoring. And tonight we honored the loved ones that have been lost by suicide. And we honored the gift of life from those who are still here and want to move forward with their life. When I thought about H, Kelly, I thought about hugs. Kelly said she came tonight because she needed hugs. And hugs are very much a part of hope. And then I thought about the O. And I thought about how every time we come here, it's an opportunity for us to break the silence, to share our stories, and to be reminded that we're not alone and we're part of a community. And when I thought of O, I thought about open. Opening up our minds, opening up our hearts. That's what this is all about. P. P is about presence. And not only that you are all present here, but the presence of our loved ones who are still the lights that shine within us. When I thought about P, I thought about not only being present, but also about problems and pain, and how unless we bring them forth, we can't deal with them and we can't help one another. And when I thought about E, I thought about embracing. I thought about encouraging. And I thought about what I can't see on my paper. Entering into. Val talked about entering into our pain. We talked about re-entering back into the world of life. Tonight, there is no doubt in my mind that we have kindled again the light of hope, not only in this place, but out into the world. I was sitting there wishing that I had a pocket full of candles to give to everybody. So when you go home, most of us have a candle. If you have nothing more than just that little birthday candle, it's a beautiful example. It used to be that people carried matches. That doesn't happen anymore. I tell you to light a match. But we are the light of hope that will go out into the world again tonight. Had to see which candle was which. Healing. That's always been an interesting word for me, healing. Because a lot of times when we're sick and we think of healing, we think about being cured. Well, you can't get cured once you've made a decision to take your life and completed that. But healing can happen for those of us that are left behind. And as we heard earlier, healing can happen in a moment. A person reaching out and calling can cause us to change the path of our life and begin to heal. Healing is about, first of all, recognizing that something's wrong. Healing is about acknowledging that we're in pain and then seeking help, which can be a lot harder than we think. But when we seek that help, the help is there. And maybe we don't even have to seek it because someone comes up to us and says, "You don't look well. You don't look like you're having a good day." And we can begin that process of healing from whatever it is that we're aching and hurting from. Tonight is a night of hope. Tonight is a night of healing. And I finally light the candle of remembrance. And tonight, as so many speakers have said, everyone is here because in some way your life has been touched by suicide, or you're here to support another. And we remember. We remember all those people who are so vital and so important in our lives, and their lights do still shine, and they never go out. And they live on in and through each and every one of us as we remember them. There is nothing more wonderful than to hear my mother's name mentioned, or Peter's name, or Jerry's name, or Jana Marie's name, to remind us that they're not forgotten, that many others besides us remember. Marissa started the evening off by surprising me, by sharing the story about a stranger. And I am so grateful that I was able to be that stranger and meet Nancy in her garden that day. And the relationship that's blossomed since then for all of us is incredible. So I encourage you tonight, certainly for the people that we know that might be going through difficult times, it's hard enough. But maybe you might smile at a stranger. You might say something to a stranger that will make a difference. You might indeed save someone's life. That's what this is all about tonight. We can't bring back the lives of the people that loved us and we loved and lost. But we can honor them, and we can carry the legacy on, and we can join with the Jana Marie Foundation and say, suicide is preventable. Preventable. I wore this shirt tonight because I had the privilege of walking in AFSP's overnight walk this year. It was in Washington, D.C. It started at 8 p.m., and we walked through the night, thousands of walkers. And as we walked, total strangers were walking beside each other, sharing our stories. We laughed together, we cried together, We wondered whether we'd make the 16.8 miles, but we did. And we did it all to remember our loved ones and with the hope to prevent suicide. Tonight, our minds and our hearts were illumined, not only by these candles, but by the stories and by everyone who's present here, by the dance, by the music, and most importantly, by that gift of hope. And so as you go forth tonight, your light is shining. And if you're feeling hopeless, know that there's all of us that are holding hope for you. I heard recently that helplessness and hopelessness is the #1 predictor of suicide. So if we can offer another a helping hand, if we can offer someone the gift of hope, we've begun that healing process. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for holding hope, and take that hope and that light out into a world, and we will illumine the darkness. Thank you.
Would it be speaking words of wisdom? Let it be.